Good morning. It's cold. It is cold. Got another 4-day weekend coming up. Oh, and I was thinking about activities and just doing stuff. Like one of my favorite memories was I wanted to go take a bike ride. It was after work, so it was late. Like, let's say it's 8-ish. I think I probably got off work, probably went and had a beer and dinner, and everyone head home. Like, I probably met with friends after work. And I decided I'm gonna ride my bike to all the parks I could think of. And then I thought, you know what, now I'm gonna ride to all the fountains I could think of. So some of those fountains were in parks, so I re-rode to those. And then I thought, I'm gonna ride to all the bridges I could think of, and that's a lot of bridges. The Willamette River has a huge amount of bridges, and they're not all, some of them are close together, but they're a great distance apart. And so I just got to riding, you know, I was just enjoying life. And I remember getting to the maybe it was the Broadway Bridge or something, like Steel Bridge, and I was on the north side looking north across the water at the lights, and all of a sudden, like, this cold wind hit me, and I was like kind of like, ooh, you know, for a moment, and then like the cold wind didn't stop. It was almost just like whatever heat was in that area blew away, and that's the temperature of the air now. And I thought, man, why did it get so cold all of a sudden? And I look at my watch, and it was 3 a.m. And I'm not drunk, I'm not doing drugs, I'm not popping pills. I was just like, I was loving what I was doing. And I remember, like, I'm leading up to my upcoming weekend right now. But I remember, like, sometimes we go visit friends. Like, I went and visited his friends and stayed like a week or a couple weeks. And I remember, like, people that I would see on a regular basis were like, come over for lunch or something like that, or like groups that I would be a part of for like crafting and activities. And I would be hanging out with these people, and I'm like, what are you doing today? And they're like, oh, this is pretty much it. And like we're sitting around, like, pretty much doing nothing. And they're like, what are you gonna do today? And I'm like, well, like, since I'm in your area, I was gonna drive down to, there's a couple lakes that I saw off this road. I wanted to see what road access there was and what lake access there was. And if depending on what I find there, I might go boating. And then I get there, and there's like terrible lake access, but it turns out there's like a kind of a walking path, like they put in a sidewalk that goes nowhere, but it's a long one. And so then I went and got my roller skates and roller skated it. And I remember some people like saying things about that. One of my girlfriends said I was obsessed with exercise. But it wouldn't be like just exercise. It would be like just anything. Because like it would be knitting, or it would be even reading my books or something like that. But then, like, at one point in time, like, especially when I went, even before that, like, because when I was part-time, I almost exclusively just walked the Delta with Aquila. I still did cycling, and I still did roller skating, and you know, book reading and stuff like that, but like, that became my obsession. And now that that's gone, like now I'm noticing that I'm just spending more and more time at my house, and I know it's freezing cold out. But I thought, like, oh, you know, maybe I could rent a yurt at the coast, or, you know, like, I was thinking, like, oh man, I could just take, you know, the car will warm up, and I could take a drive out to the Deschutes River that I wanted to see this section of river, and I was like, yeah, I just don't feel like being in the car for 4 hours. I've gone from feeling like everything is desirable and everything is possible to being more like my friends were, like in their 20s and 30s. Just like now, like hanging out at home seems like, you know, a perfectly good thing to do. You know, so I might have been like too hardcore or too obsessed or something like that, but like but that seems good. It seems like good to like be obsessed with doing things in life, and to want to get up early and get like 14 things like done, but like not even done. Like I'm not even talking about jobs. I'm like the idea of thinking like I'm gonna ride to every park I could think of. You know, like that's some good stuff. Like there's a park that I saw down the road that I hadn't been to, and I went there, and it's kind of like it's a little tricky to find actually, with limited parking. I think it's meant to be exclusively a neighborhood park where you walk to it, and it was really nice. And I met a cool guy there that talked to me, and we had a nice conversation. So yeah, because I know if you, like putting yourself out there, like the thing is like I put myself out there just to walk the park, and then I ended up, some guy approached me and we ended up talking. It turned out we even knew some people in common. I mean, that wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have gone to the park. Like you have to put yourself out there in order for life to, you know, give you these surprises. I suppose they also give you car accidents too, so I don't know, I feel guilty sometimes when I just stay home. And then if I stay home, I feel like, well, like there's like moss or some kind of something growing on my vinyl siding. I'm like, I should go out there and wipe that off, or wipe as much off as I could reach. All right. I don't know.